All right. Testing, 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 testing. Sound, sound, sound. Testing. Yeah. Okay. Let's just see. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Election Nation special coverage of the Pennsylvania special election. We are live now, so we're just going to go over a brief rundown of the candidates, basically the situation and the importance of this race. So what we're looking at right now is a map of the current results. They're not in yet, and we should be expecting results by 8:20 Eastern Time. Now you may be wondering, why is this an important election? This is a suburb of Pittsburgh, the 18th Congressional District in Pennsylvania. It's a special election for Tim Murphy's seat. He had the seat since 2003. He was forced to resign due to questions of mistress and abortion. But now we have two candidates here. We have Connor Lamb, the surging Democratic candidate. He's sort of a blue dog Democrat. He has some progressive trade value, progressive trade beliefs. However, he does believe in, he has some more conservative beliefs. He is pro-life, and he is pro-Second Amendment. So he's definitely a blue dog Democrat in a blue dog district. It's the 18th district is a suburb of Pittsburgh. It's the old steel and mining industries. It voted for Donald Trump by over 20 points. So it will be very interesting to see if the significance of Connor Lamb, sort of his surging campaign and winning. Both sides have spent millions in the race. We actually have a statistic number here. So, in what may be a signal of Democratic momentum heading towards November, Lamb has dominated fundraising efforts, raising more than $3.6 million since January, compared to Seconds Hall of just under $1 million over the same time period, according to data from the Federal Election Committee. So it's an important race. Both candidates feel very strongly about the race. That made no sense. Anyways, excuse me. Connor Lamb, he's a young ex-Marine, I believe. Sort of standard bearer politician. But he ran a great campaign. He went door to door all over the district in the time that he had. I'd say that he ran a successful campaign, and it will pay dividends if he wins tonight. There was a new poll from Quinnipiac that shows Lamb ahead by 1 point, but that's statistical error, so you never really know. It could go his direction, or it could he could win. A very narrow race. He needs to perform well in Allegheny and Washington County. Excuse me. He needs to perform well in the sort of urban suburbs. Rick Saccone, he is a avid Trump supporter, and he supported the tax cuts. He's a former representative, I believe, the 34th district, and he decided to run for the 18th. Very avid pro-Trump supporter. Anyways, let's talk about the importance of this race. If Democrats are able to pull out a surprise, not a surprise, but in this district, a relatively surprising victory. That's a big momentum boost for the Democratic Party going into the midterm elections. But if the Republicans are able to stave off a defeat, which now seems less and less likely, well, that just means that the momentum may have been a fallacy, and that the momentum might be more and more might be just a facade of that Alabama special election when Doug Jones shockingly defeated Roy Moore. But if Lamb is able to win, then that's a good win for the Democrats, but it's a must win. It's not a must win in terms of the seats, but it does get them one step closer. You always want to be one step closer. The Democrats have aspirations to retake the House and the Senate in 2018. They believe a Democratic surge is expected in response to multiple things, including President Trump's his approval rating in certain states and generally his performance and his unfavorability. And Rick Saccone is sort of bungled the campaign a little bit. His debate performance wasn't great, and he had called himself Trump before Trump was around. So he's what we call sort of a straight talking politician. He had Eric Trump campaigning for him a few days ago. We've had some top name Democrats campaigning here as well. Joe Biden was campaigning here. Not here, because I don't live in the 18th Congressional District of Pennsylvania. But yeah, we're going to see some live results. It's going to be interesting. What's very sort of cool about this is that these are the actual wards and the up close districts. So we have full. Move that. These are the actual counties. These are the actual precincts. These aren't just the this isn't sort of a state map. This is up close to the congressional district. So we have all of the wards and the districts here. Very interesting. I've never seen a map this detailed. This is really interesting. As I move this over. Oh, sorry. I'm just twinkling with the map a little bit, but it'll definitely be a close race. Okay. So yeah. It's not the most interesting race, but yeah, what do you guys have to say in the chat? Apparently not. So we have we do a viewer. Start from the bottom. This is my first experiment of a stream, so forgive me for the rough edges. Just starting out. And if anybody can write what the mic volume is and if it's okay. Totally unprofessional. continue to cough, but to have a dry throat. We are 10 minutes away from the polls have closed, I think. But we don't have any precinct results in yet. So what's interesting is that when these results come in for each of these counties, these mini counties, as I call them, that's the total precinct that's reported. So there's no more precinct that will be reported there. That's it. That's the be all end all there. So we'll have to see. I mean, I'll get you guys the video of Connor Lamb's victory speech, if that's what it is. We'll have that ready for you guys, so you guys can stay here to stick around here for all that. So, anyways, what do you guys think of the what do you guys think of the debate? What am I talking about? We also have Drew Miller. He's a libertarian candidate who has not gotten any attention. If he can break more than 2%, that might be a deciding factor, depending on who they vote. Libertarians are supposedly supposed to take votes more away from the Republican candidate, which appears to make sense on the surface, but you never know. You never know. So I'm just gonna. Sorry if you guys heard that. I didn't set up my audio correctly, I don't believe. Oh. Apparently not. Oh, that's probably going to conflict. Yeah. Sorry, guys. I'm just crawling around here, just setting up stuff. We have one viewer. Thank you to whoever's watching this. But it's a great start. One viewer at a time. We start I'm going to be streaming some more election results in the future. Definitely gonna try to have a big stream on November 6th, I believe. I forgot what date. November 2nd. I think that's when the midterms are. But I'm going to be uploading some videos tomorrow. Hopefully I can upload a few and just start the channel. This is basically just an upstart channel. Talking about politics from an unbiased perspective, because that is something that's at least relatively unique on YouTube, because every other political channel is basically most political channels on YouTube are in a biased perspective. Anyways, that's not related to the subject at hand. So yeah, let's just take a look at the map. Let's just take a full look at the map here. We'll see. But Republicans are apparently already making excuses if they lose, which apparently they expect to from internal results. Apparently they're not confident, which is not a good sign for Mr. Saccone. So it is a solid Republican district, of course. So strong Democratic turnout in Allegheny County, with crossover support from conservative-leaning towns. So The polls have closed, but we just don't have any results. I'm just gonna update the page in case. No, we don't have any results. So we do have the. So we do have the final live estimates, but in my opinion, New York Times estimates are a little shaky because during the presidential race, these sort of final vote estimates were mostly all right, but they swung too much. Their methodology was a little bit too extreme because they swung really far to one side, or swung really far to one side or to another. Because if you remember, Virginia was late to call in the 2016 presidential election. It was, as it always is, they count the Republican counties are counted first in the southern part of the state, and the smaller counties, and then the northern part bordering D.C. is counted later. But the estimates were still saying Trump was going to win Virginia by 2 or 3 or 4, when there was about 75% reporting, and people who had a clue, because there was a lot of fear mongering of, people were saying, oh, Trump's going to win Virginia, even though that's just not the case. That's simply not. John McCain was leading in Virginia with till 60% reporting. Virginia is always late to call because you don't really have a great estimate of the vote turnout in the northern counties until until you can see. They're late to report. So the message there is whoever's leading in Virginia with 50% reporting actually loses the state more than they win the state. At least now. Because Mitt Romney was leading in Virginia for hours until Obama took the lead much later on. Obama was announced as president, and Mitt Romney was still leading in Virginia. So it's simply misleading for news networks. I'm going to make a video on that. But anyways, that's a tangent. So we still don't have any results. Make sure. Anyways, I was just going on a tangent there. I was angry. Angry about the poll closings and projections that the major news networks do. Let's see, these reportings I was going to expect at least a few reports to come in, but those take a while. We have we'll see what comes in first. I calculated the total votes that the 18th congressional district got from both Republicans and Democrats, and in the Democratic primary, it was about 30,000 votes. There's 700,000 people around that in the 18th congressional district. That was the 2000 census, so it's probably something around 700. So yeah, it's around 700,000. Well, that means that if Democratic turnout is suppressed in Allegheny and in some of these bigger cities, and if he's able to run up the margins in Greene and Westmoreland, then Saccone can win by 4 points, 5 points, but I think it's going to come down to a 2-point margin. It's very interesting. This is a very fascinating race because in 2016, Tim Murphy ran unopposed. So, well, a lot of Republicans are running unopposed at this point because of the party split. The Democrats' trouble in rural districts. We'll just say that, but This is a turning point right here. That's what I'd call it, a turning point. If Connor Lamb wins, then that's great news for the Democrats, and they're on track. But if Saccone can win, then it's not good news. 8:18. All right, so it is updated, but okay, it's 8:19 according to them. All right, so we're just gonna patiently wait for all you political nerds like me. Waiting is a tough thing. I remember waiting for which day was it? Oh, it was Florida. Florida came in, and actually Florida came in relatively quick in 2016. We'll test how accurate their estimate meter is, because in the Alabama special election, their meter was great. Yeah. So okay, so here's their estimates. So they estimate big. There's a larger amount of votes here than I expected. That's just what they think. So it looks like Connor Lamb is gonna have to do more than just perform very well here. He's gonna have to perform. Oh. Oh. Oh, this is just an estimate. This is just an estimate of a tied race. These are very, very small results, so every single mini county matters. So it comes down to what is his performance in these bigger ones, and if he's able to trounce, and if he's able to move over here and win. This is very interesting. 228,000 votes. That's amazing turnout. Although that is just a rough. It's a rough estimate, so. 8:22, we have no results. Still no results yet. Let's see what's going on with the stream. One watching, and it's probably me. I bet you the viewer is probably me. Hey, if you're watching this, just comment, but I bet you it is me. I guarantee you the viewer is me because I'm watching my stream. Anyways, guys, we're going to take a quick break here. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to take a quick break here. All right, we're back. Back on here. That's it. This could be a real upset. Could be a real good sign for Democrats running in these sort of more rural counties. Although there are some rich suburbs in Allegheny, so it is kind of a contrasting district. But if Lamb is able to win, then that is good confidence for Democratic challengers in more rural parts where they really haven't contested. Anyway, we're going to take a quick look at the results. We're going to see if we have any results, and we still don't. We have one district counted, and that is the 6th district for Connor Lamb. He has won the 6th district. He's won the 6th district. He's done it. He's won the 6th district. Let's see. He's running like margins to tie. Here's the 6th district. 238. He got 240. He beat turnout, at least here. And Drew Miller got 2 votes. Looks like Drew Miller is not going to get that many votes. All right, so Connor Lamb. We are live. We have the results. Connor Lamb with 240, which is a 2-vote superior turnout. So, here we go. Let's see what we got. Still even. So he beat what they expected. This is going to be close. So, I don't know. Oh, okay, no, these are just the 4 larger overall counties: Allegheny, Greene, Washington, and Westmoreland. So, basically, Lamb has to run up margins in Allegheny big, which is kind of what he did, but he won by 5 points, and it gets him what? It gets him 25 votes ahead. So, not great. But if Connor Lamb wins, that's another big insult to Donald Trump, because that's another candidate who he strongly supported, and this is not going to look great on him. It's not going to look great for those Republicans who are strong supporters of Donald Trump, and they may want to think twice. I'm not saying that sounded a little aggressive. 1 of 593. Oh, come on. It's not. There's no way it's going to be this slow. Apparently it is. The I really hope the votes counts are not that slow, because that's too much. That's way too much. Way too slow. Way too slow. Anyways, we do have one viewer still. All right, so well, oh, we do have another county. Green is in, but the map is not updated. Let's swing it back. Nothing yet. But we do have we now have 800 votes, and now Connor Lamb is leading. Oh, that's another. I don't know. It says Greene County, but I'm not getting any results. No actual results. Greene County. It's going to be the map for a long time. So, this is going to... Hopefully they report a little bit stronger than this. 3 precincts have now reported, but apparently New York Times is having some trouble with their map. So in his estimates, he thought, or whoever put this together believed this would be a tie, and that Lamb would lose all of the counties in Greene. It looks like he won one of them. Don't worry, we're accustomed to waiting this long for projection and results. There we go. Oh, a crushing defeat. He won big in Lippincott, in Morgan. So Greene County goes to Saccone. Oh, okay, so they're smaller cities. So now it looks like we're gonna get some actual results. We are getting good results. Connor Lamb, it looks like. Let's just see what he was supposed to do here. So he's outperforming. Oh, what the fuck? What happened there? So Lamb is holding on to a narrow lead. That is such a small county. A lot of turnout, though. That looks like it's going to be a big turnout. So it looks like we're going to get big turnout. Sunk a little bit. but he's still got that. Ooh, still has a lead. 1%. That's not good. Probably want a little bit more than that. Anyways, we're gonna take a quick break, and we'll be right back. Whoops. Yep, there's a fuck up right there. Hello guys, we're back with a race update, and currently we have 5% of the vote in. We have 8,000 votes, and Connor Lamb is currently trouncing Secombe 60 to 39.3, 60.2 for Lamb, and 39.3 for Secombe. We have some reporting out of some key districts here in Pittsburgh. And look at his performance. Look at the performance he's getting here. %69% for Lamb here. Although Rick Secombe narrowly wins this by 1 vote, so it's definitely close. And it will be counted as the last vote. This is going to be close. I probably won't make a projection until 50% is reported. I project very, very early based on raw data and some of what we got. I try to predict as fast as possible, faster than other networks do. We have 8,000 votes now. But he's not turning out. So Lamb is just a very narrow favorite. So that's just a rough estimate, but it's very early on, so you never know. We don't have information on that. But you can see a lot of Algony's coming in very early here. That is looking good, but the more of Algony that's out, the better for Lamb in most cases. So once these 3 larger cities, once Washington comes in, then I can make a more realistic and accurate projection. We got 6% in. It looks like we're getting a lot from more and more votes are coming in from Algony and the suburbs of Pittsburgh. So those are just some general looks. %8 reporting, and Secombe's lead has dropped a little bit, and it's back to a toss-up. The key for Secombe here, the key for Connor Lamb is that he has to run up the margin. Which he is. Welcome back, guys. Taking a look at the earlier results. 1/10 of the vote is in, and Lamb is ahead by 3,000 votes. If this is 10% reporting, which it is, the turnout's not going to be 200,000. Looks like it could be 150,000, 125,000, something in that range. We do have a lot of sparse reporting from So, by the New York Times full estimate, they believe Secombe a lot of Allegheny is in, but a lot of it isn't in, and we have no reporting from Westmoreland and so now it's back to even. Not all of it. There's still a lot of wards that are still up, and good turnout for Lamb so far. And we're now the count is going a little faster. Could be a real nail biter. What a goofball. What a goof. What a goofball. Oops. Keep fucking that up. I shouldn't have sweared. Come on, man. Anyways, let's just take a look at We are back, guys, with another just quick update, a forecast of what is going to happen. This is going to be a real nail biter. This is going to come down to the final precincts. This is going to be one close race. Right now, it's maybe Sacombe has a very, very, very narrow lead. But narrow in this sense is like 500 votes. You know, we're talking Al Gore, Bush, Florida here. This is going to be really, really close. But Saccone has now taken the lead. Saccone has a very small advantage. He's running up margins in Greene County. Good news for him. And this is what they have for estimated votes remaining. So now they have Saccone as a narrow favorite, which I think might be bogus. I think they're gonna have to, I think that this is gonna be 0.4 in this vote. 0.4 of 125,000 is like 0.4. That's, you're looking at 500, 600, 700 votes. It's gonna be really close. Lamb is still in the lead, and it still looks good for him, especially in Allegheny, where we still have a lot of the counties waiting, and some of the bigger ones on this sort of border with the other district. These are bigger ones, big here, and if he can win them here, he has to win big in Westmoreland now more than ever. There's some count in Washington, and it looks all right for. It looks okay for Lamb, but he needs to run up. He needs to get more and more counties. So right now, he's looking good. He's leading big. Oh, we just have a lot more vote come in. We're at 20%, around that. With 20% reporting. Oh. Good news for Saccone. He look at the margin he's getting is pretty big. He's getting big margin here. Maybe if Lamb can hold out and win, he needs to at least be a little bit more competitive in Greene. It's not a lot of votes, but especially here, Morris, there's quite a few votes. A little bit more than that. Every vote counts at this point, so every single vote counts. And you see Saccone has already cut the margin. So there's Wolf Blitzer. The old Wolf. So it is early, and Saccone has already cut into the lead a little bit, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see the size of these counties and how many votes Saccone gets here, out here in Westmoreland, and then out here in more rural territory. If he gets more votes in the more outer reaches and the more rural territory, then he's gonna win. So now Saccone is now a 59% favorite. That's not. Yeah, I know I wouldn't. There's no way. That is not accurate. That's not an accurate count. I'm not biased. I'm just saying I don't think that's an accurate count. I think that this is going to be decided by less than 1%. That's my look at it right now. His lead is still 16. They just counted more votes. Yeah, we have more votes now counted. Big wins for him here. Big wins here. That must tighten it. Apparently not. Apparently that doesn't move their meter at all. 21%, and he's closing the gap. He is, and he's winning more of these counties here. Big wins here. Let's see. 42% of Allegheny's in, and a lot of Allegheny that's been counted is But there's still a lot of algae that you would expect to be Lamb County. There's still Lamb County waiting out here. There's still Lamb County here. So I think this is going to be closer than this. This system's a little bit too volatile. So apparently, this is where Sacomb's biggest vote center is in Westmoreland. We have no votes from West, but apparently this is where. So this is where Sacomb's biggest vote totals are expected to be. Small county, but a big win. No, the race just tightened apparently. Yeah, that's what I'm saying right now. What I'm saying right now is that this margin 24% reporting, and a lot of the counties from green just came in. They're small counties, and he's doing all right. He's not doing great. Lamb is not doing great, and Saccone is doing very well. So, not. He's closing, but he's closing a little slower. Although he is closing relatively quick. He's closing pretty quick. You never know. But it looks like Saccone is going to narrowly win. That's what an estimate would give you. But I say Lamb will win by 0.2, 0.4. It's not a biased prediction. It's just that's what I believe right now with the counted vote and what I believe Lamb will perform better. Guys, welcome back to current results. We got right now. It looks like lamb is a narrow favorite, but this is going to be extremely close. Again, them predicting that Saccone was going to win. It's just not. It's not an accurate count. It's going to come down to 0.4 is what the margin is looking like now. This is a real nail biter. So I'm going to be able to project, and lamb just pulled ahead. Lamb has just pulled with 50% reporting. So there's going to be 200,000 votes. Wow. Maybe 170,000. Saccone, his districts have ultimately mostly come in, although Allegheny is mostly reported. And there are some parts of Allegheny that is still Saccone. So it depends, and a lot of this area here in Washington is reported, not all of it, and there's still Westmoreland, there's still part of Westmoreland that is still going to go for lamb. Lamb now leads by 8.6. Or he leads by... Oh, he leads by 5. Saccone just closed the gate quick. How did he do it? We now have a lot of votes reported in big. Wow. That's big. That's big. So it looks like this is going to be a nail biter. So the vote reporting that's remaining is, man, it's close. See, this is it's more volatile. I'm gonna give you guys a better look. It's very volatile, as in it goes down, and there's 37% of votes remaining. So with 80% reporting, I could make a call. I'm close to making a call, but not really. I mean, this is still going to be a real nail biter. Looking pretty good. If you're Rick Saccone supporter, it's not looking great. And if you're a Connor Lamb supporter, it is looking pretty good. Although really, I mean, this can go either way. So we still have no projection, and there's 60% of the vote in. So what I'm saying now is, although Lamb did win here, and if he can win these counties, and they can maybe split these counties, then the margins that Saccone gets are not going to be greater. This is very interesting. It seems like Lamb is performing very, very well in Allegheny. And he does lead by 5. He has to expand his lead a little bit more because he's got to get above 6 for me to make full production. I'm anyways, I'm gonna go throw that tab out. Okay. Oh man, my microphone was off for the longest time. Anyways, guys, we have projected that Connor Lamb is the winner in Pennsylvania's 18th district, as you can see. We base this projection on the percent reporting and the fact that we believe that the percent that's remaining is a very narrow margin and not enough for Sakona to make up the vote. So guys, Connor Lamb leads now by what do you guys think about the projection? So Connor Lamb, he will now win. It's a big win. Connor Lamb. right, we're back. This projection is very, very, very ballsy, I'd say, but we do believe that Drew Miller is going to be a spoiler for Connor Lamb. I mean for Rick Saccone, because we now have 95% reporting, and the updated vote total has Lamb up by over 1,000. So Connor Lamb is going to win. The most amount of votes we have is from Washington, but these counties will be very close. North Suburban 1, 2, and then Peters. We'll see if they go for Lamb or Saccone. If Lamb just has to tie him in this vote, or really, really, really close. But I made a very, very, very early projection, and I might be biting myself in the ass. He's still pulling. He's just pulled ahead again. He just pulled ahead again. He's still up by 0.6. 96% reporting. So all basically Westmoreland and Allegheny will basically cross each other out. anyways, back to what we got. And I mean, we have 96% reporting, but I do not see. I don't see the chance that I really don't see the votes left. I don't see where Saccone can win because we got 97 reporting in both Allegheny and Westmoreland. So those basically, I mean, it's relatively a tie. And if my opinion, I think that Lamb picks up a few more votes from Allegheny, and then Washington is 90% reported. And he's winning it by 3,000, but it depends on how many votes. Yeah, if he can, I don't think he's going to be able to pull enough votes out of Washington because I think that the precincts that are currently remaining, they're bordering Allegheny, which voted for Lamb very narrowly. So he has to run up the margin, and I don't see him doing that. These look like split precincts or narrow precincts in his favor. So I don't. Yeah, I don't. I stand by my projection. Yeah, so I'm relatively confident in my projection. So we actually did have 2 viewers, but I'm still confident that. Let's put it back up. I'm still confident in my projection here. I still think that he won. I'm still pretty confident that Connor Lamb won because I don't think that there's enough votes remaining. It's a margins game at this point, and the margins game looks like it favors Lamb because Saccone would have to get over 60% in Washington. If he does get 60%, then that's at least it's a shocker because the counties that are remaining are mostly so right now here's what's actually remaining. So Westmoreland is completely reported, and it did narrow it a little bit. It narrowed the margin. In Cross Creek is remaining. North Strabane 2. Peters is still out. The whole town of Peters has not reported. And if someone could check up the historical data. Then again, there's still one more. Here's why I think he's going to win. Because there's still one more county left, Whitehall District 15 in Allegheny. And it's near the area where he performed very well. So if he runs up the margin, if he gets over 200 votes and Saccone gets less than, that's another 100. That's plus 100, and that really makes a difference. This is other than that, Allegheny is there are 3 precincts remaining in Allegheny. There are about 10 precincts remaining in Washington. Green is completely reported. And then Westmoreland is 99% of the precincts, but we don't have any county information from Westmoreland for some reason. There must be an error. So with that case, we don't really know. And I mean, so I did project that Connor Lamb won, but it's obviously going to be a very narrow win. So as we come back to our screen here, here's what we know is left. Strabane. And we have Cross Creek. One more here midway. And if there's votes just reported, it reported, but we don't know. So let's take a look at the shifts. Again, the heaviest shift was here in the important counties with the biggest population. There's no counties here that go over 1,000 votes for one candidate. So let's just see 90, 99, 97, and 100. So we're gonna take a quick break. I'll give you guys the ABC broadcast, and that's basically it here. And I forgot to okay, shit. So here's what's remaining. The votes that are now remaining are here, here, here. It's not. It's whoa, 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 whoa. We got it. Apparently that vote's counted right here. Okay. So this is just, it's a real nail biter. But he pulled ahead again because Albany came in, and it came in for him by about 200 votes. No projection. You got it. We got it. So Connor Lamb's lead has gone up by a little bit. Barely. So the race is now literally 95 votes. The gentleman who were county precincts from Washington County just came in. They counted the whole votes, and it was good. Rick Saccone ran up margins, and he still didn't win. Man, that's insane. 95 votes. This is one of the closest elections I've ever seen. Man, I haven't seen an election this close since the 2008 Minnesota Senate. That was, remember, that was one of the closest. That was the recount after months. They awarded the seat to Franken. But this is just... He did everything he could. Rick Santorum was right that Peters is a Republican town, and he ran up the margins, and he still did not take the lead, which means that this race is essentially over because the absentee ballots that are going to be counted in Allegheny are enough to put him over the top. I mean, this is just so close. This is just one of the closest races I've ever observed. I mean, 95 votes. A nail biter. Anyways, I'm just going to show you guys Connor Lamb's. They're playing Don't Stop Believin' by Journey at the Connor Lamb campaign headquarters because this race has gone down to a tight wire. Don't Stop Believin' is what the Connor Lamb camp is saying. So close. Even my prediction was a little off. I said it would be by 0.4, 0.3. which might still be right, but it also could be off. And this is nuts. Like 95 people didn't show up. I mean, this race can literally come down to like 10 votes. Who knows? I don't even know if I don't even know if Lamb will give a speech. Who knows? Oh, the Democrats got it. They got the absentee ballot vote. That might do it. He just increases lead. So 752 vote margin. He got it. So now it's 752. So now maybe okay. He has it. 807 vote lead. Connor Lamb's lead is now 807 votes. 847 votes. He is now leading by 847 votes. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching this stream, and we're gonna be heading off tonight. But Connor Lamb, the apparent winner in Pennsylvania. Connor Lamb, we project the apparent winner. Not projected, he is an apparent winner with the vote counted and the absentee ballots that are counted out of Allegheny. We believe that his margin is enough to call it. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching this stream. Thank you for watching the stream, and I really want to thank you guys for this first stream. Upload will be coming tomorrow around 5, and thank you guys for watching.